Hi guys, JP from FSI Panel. A new video here to show you how to do a setup for RNAV approach using the new Aersosoft Airbus A319. So what I'd like to fly today is an RNAV approach 02 in Kathmandu, Nepal. This is a challenging approach in the middle of the terrain here. So we're gonna try it. We will try now to set it up with FSI Panel, and then at the end of the video I will show you how to import a ready-made snapshot so that you can start flying it without even having to program your systems. Okay, so we're gonna do that. I want to position the aircraft, let's say at 11,000 feet, just before Rattan. Rattan, we have a restriction here of 10,500 feet. At or above, maximum speed 230 knots. So we will use FSI Panel to position our aircraft, let's say around 8 to 10 miles. Let's say 8 miles on the track 022 south of Rattan. And from there, we will fly this approach. Okay, so let's do that with FSI Panel. In FSI Panel here, I already have my Airbus selected. So I will select the airport, which is Kathmandu, Victor, November, Kilo, Tango. And I will select my runway, and here we're gonna take runway 02. And for the fix, we will use the star, and we don't need actually a star, but if I want to have my approach, I need to select a star. So I will take the Dami 1 Romeo, and then I see my final approach fix here, which is Rattan. This is what we want, so we select Rattan. Then if we look in our chart, we saw that the inbound heading is 022, so I will set my inbound heading 022, which is there, and we will set the altitude at 11,000 feet due to this restriction. Alright, so heading we want 022, altitude we would like to be at 11,000 feet, and I will put myself at 8 miles south of Rattan. Validate. Now from the weather, let's take the actual weather and see what we have here. We'll select some weather here. Okay, let's take any weather basically, and then, oh sorry. Then we see here the weather, 23 QNH, 1008, few cloud. So we should be able to do this approach. We have a few cloud at 2500. So let's try that. The only thing here you see, as I imported the METAR, which is night, I don't want to fly this approach at night, so I will just press day. I keep the same METAR, but FSI Panel will use 11:30 local time, so we should be during daylight. Set weather, and now we are ready to go, so I will press move aircraft. The Airbus will load now. Remember, do not do anything, just wait until you get some information from FSI Panel. Alright, here we go. We see some terrain ahead. The weather is there, and now you see FSI Panel My Control on top of your screen here. Please set your thrust lever to climb and hit Y key when done. Okay, so let's do that. I will use my joystick. I go to climb, and then I will press Y key. And now I just have to wait. You see that now FSI Panel is programming my MCDU with the actual weather, cruising altitude. We want to have a look at that. We can see here now that is setting the temperature, the wind, and a default radio minimum of 200. This is not what we want to do, so now we will set up our approach correctly. Okay, so we said we'd like to be at 11,000 feet, which is coming now 11,000 feet, so the altitude is correct, and we want to be 8 miles from position Rattan. Right now our FMC or MCDU sorry is not set, so I need to do it. So let's do it together. So I will go on the flight plan page, and there we have Kathmandu to Kathmandu. So I will select my destination Kathmandu, arrival, and here what we want to do is RNAV 02. We said any star and insert. And now we're gonna look for the waypoints that we are interested in, which is for us Rattan. Okay, so I will go direct to Rattan. this point. And remember, if you execute now, then the aircraft will go out of heading mode, and as we are in position freeze, it will start doing everything wrong. So what I do here, I press insert, and right away I pull to take control on the heading. And you can see that Rattan is 8 miles in front of us. This is exactly what we wanted on the 022 heading. Perfect. Alright, so now we need to continue the setup. So here what I need to do, clear the discontinuity. Okay, and then we're gonna check the speed. Right now the aircraft is flying 210 knots. We see Rattan 250 knots here. So let's have a look what the chart says. The chart says maximum speed 230 knots, and then at Kilo Tango 530 maximum 170 knots. Okay, so let's see that in the system. What we're gonna do, Rattan, I will put a restriction here of 230 knots, and I will as well put a restriction here of 230 knots below 12,000 feet, so that we don't accelerate now to cruise speed. So now we have these restrictions. Let's see in the flight plan now. We have the 230 and we have the 170. Everything looks good. What you need to do next is go in the prog page, and you see here this is the RNP actual required 2.1. Now we want to force the system to give us a tolerance of 0.3. So we'll get a warning if we get more than 0.3, which is the requirement for this approach AR. We can see on the bottom of the chart here RNP 0.3. So this is what we set now in our FMC, and we make sure that we have high accuracy here. Okay, so now we have set this. I will set my minimums. Okay, so if I go to the approach phase, FSI Panel has already set everything except here the minimum. So let's see what minimum we will put here. We will fly the RNAV here. Approach light working, so we'll put 4650, and some airlines had 50 feet for the go around tolerance, so I will do that. I will use this method and I will put 4700. So I will set here 4700 as a baro minimum. 4700, sorry, as a baro minimum. Okay, now we are all set. My auto brake is set to low. Okay, and maybe it's nice to have the terrain on display here so we can see what's happening. And now I will give control to the speed on the system. So I will go manage speed, so the aircraft will accelerate to 230 knots. And as I'm ready to take over the control, I will hit the brake for 1 second. I have control, as it says on top of your screen, and now I can go nav. So now we have nav, altitude cruise, 11,000 feet. Everything looks good. So next will be to start our descent. Rattan is our initial approach fix, and we need to be at 10,500 or above. So right now I can maintain 11,000. We can see on the PFD here that the aircraft top of descent will be soon there, so we can just patiently wait. And what we should not forget to do is to arm the approach when required. So let's see how this Aersosoft Airbus performs in RNAV approach. So Rattan, we have a restriction 10,500 or above, so now everything looks good. If I will activate the approach now, the aircraft will reduce the speed to green dot, and then I could go manage, sorry, selected speed if I want to maintain my speed. You see now the top of descent, so I will give clearance to the aircraft to descend to 10,500 and click for the descent. Actually now I could give it the descent to our final approach fixed altitude here, 8,700. So I will put 8,700 feet, and the aircraft started its descent. So now we are passing the initial approach fix. So what I will do, arm my approach. I'll go manage speed for now because I'm happy with 230 knots, and I will arm the approach. So right now we have approach nav, which is correct on the FMA, and we see that we have alt final, which is the 8,700 feet that we have set now for descent. So now we are responsible of the speed, so we have to be careful. We need to be fully stabilized at the final approach fix. So final approach fix in that approach, as you can see with the F here, is Kilo Tango 530. So we need to make sure that by Kilo Tango 530 we are fully stabilized. So this is the next point in front of us, 8 miles. So right now is no problem. We are flying 230 knots and I'm still 7 miles. So now I will give control of the speed to the airplane. So I will go in manage speed to start reducing my speed. So if we look at the screen now, 6 miles from the final approach fix, we tend to be fully stabilized at Kilo Tango 530 to have a constant rate of descent during the whole approach. So now everything looks good. I will go flaps 1. So now the aircraft will reduce to S-bug here. Around 3 miles from the final approach fix, I will go flaps 2. We see that we have a light tailwind here pushing us, no problem. I will reduce my range here to 10 so we have a better overview. About 3 miles now, my speed is good. I will go flaps 2. Around 2 miles, I'll put the gear down and flaps 3. So now we are exactly on profile. This is your vertical deviation, so we are quite good. Everything looks good. Coming 1.5 miles. Okay, let's go gear down and flaps 3, arm speed brake, and we're gonna put some lights here. As we were above 10,000, FSI panel didn't put any light for you. That's it. Now we have, as you can see, All-Star, and we have the final descent arm. So the aircraft is now waiting for the glide path for the final descent. So we are getting ready for a final descent. We have final approach, so we can go flaps full, and we start our descent. So now we are on final approach, as you can see on the PFD. Final approach. As soon as the aircraft starts descent, now we can set our missed approach altitude. So I can see here that the missed approach altitudes end up at 10,500 feet. So I will set my mode to 10,500 feet. Should we go around? This is the altitude. And now let's see how this Aersosoft performs for this approach. I will prepare my PFD because I like to land the aircraft with a big PFD in front of me. So I'll just prepare it like this. And now we can see that this is our deviation. So the actual descent is perfect. And our track, we can see that on the progress page of your MCDU. So we see that we have a required 0.1 and the estimated right now is 0.02. So normally this should be 0.3. So you even put 0.1 now as a tolerance, which is perfect, and we have 0.02. So we are well within tolerance. Here you can see your vertical deviation, which is good. We are 14 feet too low, which is more than acceptable. And the aircraft is flying down, so this is beautiful. So let's see how the Aersosoft perform on this approach. For now, I'm quite impressed. Everything looks perfect. The modes are correct. There is one thing we can check as well. Normally, if we go more than 40 feet below MDA, autopilot should disconnect by itself. This is an Airbus protection. So let's see if that happens on the Aersosoft. I would be very, very positively surprised if Aersosoft has modeled this feature. Let's see. So we see some terrain here, and we are doing very well, exactly where we're supposed to be. You can always use as well different weather. Here I use FSI Panel weather because I'm just practicing mode setting approaches. I don't need a perfect cloud layer, but you can use, of course, any other software. I mean, the Active Sky will do the job perfectly, as long as you have a meta published for Kathmandu. Alright, now we are coming on the before last point, Kilo Tango 522. If we look into our chart, we are here just before our turn into final. So let's see how that works, and we are expecting to see the runway. Now we have radio altimeter alive. Still we have ground contact, but not yet the runway. We see that right now the aircraft is perfectly where it's supposed to be. Lateral and vertical is perfect. We have the landing checklist, landing memo all green, so we are ready for landing. We are turning now on final. And we are expecting the runway anytime. Let's see. I will put the PFD like this in front of me for the landing. Alright, let's put it this way so I can still see my PFD, my ND. Okay, we are turning on final. You can see the vertical deviation here is perfect, the speed is perfect, and we are fully stabilized. We are approaching 1000 feet. We are stable, so we can continue our approach. And now we will be looking for the runway. Let's see.
1000.
1000 stable. Okay, I can see approach light now. Perfect. So my minimum is 4,700 feet. So normally at 4660, autopilot should automatically disconnect. This is Airbus, and I will be surprised and happily surprised if this is modeled in the Aersosoft. Let's see if this is the case. Let's give it a chance. It's not a big deal if it doesn't do that, but I will be very surprised because this is really extreme in the modeling. So let's have a look. Coming down now 5,000 feet. And the runway now is clearly inside. The PAPI is good. We have 2 and 2. We have the approach light in sight. Alright,
100 above.
Checked.
$500.
Checked. And
minimum.
Continue landing. Let's see. 14660. Let's
300.
see. And beautiful. Autopilot has disconnected. It's okay. I have it manually now. My control. Try to maintain the PAPI here.
100.
And land this aircraft if we can.
70. 60. 50.
Threshold at 50
40,
feet. A bit low.
30. Retard. Retard.
Floating. FSI panel won't be that happy, yeah? Alright, here we go. Touchdown. Reverses. And I use manual braking. Alright. Out of reverse, and I will just stop here and have a quick look at the landing report. Alright. Let's put the parking brake here. Landing distance on the quick summary is 565, 70 feet per minute, and the touchdown at 126. Okay, let's see what FSI panel has to say. Okay, the landing distance is good. Satisfactory, I was a bit right. Okay, of center line, so not too bad. We see this is based on the 3 degrees perfect descent. So we are not too bad on the RNAV approach. Good. So guys, this is the way to set up your RNAV approach using the Aersosoft, and now I will show you another mode. If you don't want to lose time setting your FMC, I've created a ready-made snapshot. This is a new feature of FSI Panel 2017. So to show you how it works, I will simply restart FSI Panel. So you can see what happens here. So now I have my FSI panel there in view, and the only thing I need to do here is import the snapshot. So right now I have this file here that you can download on the forum. So you just drag it over FSI panel, and then you will have import snapshots. You have to have an Airbus 319 CFM. This is the one that is modeled so far. And you have a quick descriptions of what you will have. So it's exactly what we've just done. if you don't want to set it up yourself. So then you just import the flight plan. You get the message the snapshot is successfully imported. And now we need to load it. So load snapshot, this is the one. If it's green, it means it's snapshot imported. So this is the one we just imported. Select. Now I can choose any weather, so I will just leave the Cavoke weather. I can put any weather I want, and I will click Move Aircraft. Now, as my Airbus is already loaded, they ask me if you want to load the default flight first. I would say yes. And now we will see what happened. Normally, we should have the F-22 Raptor on ground, 1 or 2 seconds, and then the Aersosoft will be loaded in Kathmandu, and everything should be set. Let's see. Now we have the F-22, and now comes the second load, which should be our Airbus. And normally this ready-made snapshot should have all the setting done for you. The only thing you need to do is a quick direct to the first point to reset your VNAV descent. I'll show you how to do that now, sorry. As always, don't do anything now, just wait. Here we go. And now he asked me again, FSI Panel asked me to put climb. So I will use my joystick, I will go to climb. And now I will press the Y key. Alright, so this is how we do it. Now the aircraft is trimmed. You see that in a snapshot I have select speed and select heading. And as you can see here on the PFD, my top of descent is already passed. This is because the system doesn't really know where we are. And we are in heading mode and Rattan is in front of us. So the only thing we need to do now is put a direct to Rattan. You see here, please check all autopilot mode, set your FMC, and when ready, hold your brake. So I will go into my FMC, and the only thing I need to do now is push a direct to Rattan, insert. And now you will see that my top of descent is in the right place and we have the nav mode. So if we have the nav mode, press your brake and you have control. So now we are all set. The only thing as well here, look at your speed 210 and maybe you want to change your speed because right now it's got 230 knots. So there is several ways to do it. You can stay in manage mode, in select mode, or you see if I press now select mode, manage mode, sorry, it will go to 289, which is too much. So we just go 230 manually in manage mode. And now we're all set. Basically the top of descent will come and you can fly this approach as you like. So this was to use the new feature of import snapshots. I hope you will enjoy your landings in Kathmandu. Thank you for watching the video and stay tuned for more video very soon. Thank you guys. Safe landing as always.